Good afternoon, folks, and today, welcome to another edition of the Back Garden Yard. Today we're inside. Why we're inside? Well, we're going to look at the seed collection. This is going to be the fifth step of the 5 important things that I had mentioned in a previous video that need to be done in June. And the fifth one is to plan your second plantings and then go ahead and get them planted. So that's what we're going to do today. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the seeds and decide what we want to plant. So I'm going to step out of the picture. We'll take a look at the seeds right quick and then we'll go out and plant them. So I like to keep my seeds in these old coffee containers. They kind of airtight, keep the bugs out, and they're big enough to hold them in various forms that I keep them. I've got seeds that I save, and I've also got seeds from seed packages where I didn't plant the whole thing. So that's the first one, and here's the second one, if you can see that. So anyway, let's open it up and see what's in there. So these are summer squash, and we're going to plant some more of those. These are crooknecks. We're going to plant some more of those. These are the Asian cucumbers I have, and I'm not planting any more of those. This is this lettuce that's not the romaine lettuce. They call it chicory. It's out there now going to seed. I've still got a bunch of those seeds. These are the Better Boy hybrids that I planted this year. And here's my cucumber seeds, and I am going to plant some of those. And they look like this because these are ones that I saved from last year. And let's see if there's anything else right quick. Bell peppers we're not going to plant. They haven't even come in yet. Sweet Korean peppers are still out there. And the last thing in here is okra seed, and got a bunch of that left over. Put it all back in there. And let's see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, I need some zucchini. So let's find the zucchini. There's the butternut squash I've got planted. The Blue Lakes are my beans. The watermelon is planted. Here's more squash. Here's zucchini, black beauty, dark green. I'll take them both, plant a couple of each. So that's what we're going to plant. I'm not going to plant a whole lot extra. I just like early in the year, what happens is the squash and the cucumbers are usually the first things to go. The bugs will eventually get them, or they just kind of play out. The cucumbers get so tall they can't support the top of the plant, and the bugs eventually are going to get these zucchini and these squash. So we're going to go to the greenhouse and we're going to plant some more. And the cucumber seeds, I'll open these up right quick. And they look like this just because they were in a paper towel. And what I do is I lay them out on a paper towel. When I dry them, let them air dry. And then there they are. Now you can just kind of scrape them off. And once again, I'm not going to plant a whole lot extra this time. Usually by the time you start planting that second crop, it's an iffy situation on how much you're going to get from that second crop, because once again, all the bugs are there ready to get it. But I do like to have fresh vegetables in August and September if possible, even though I will have plenty of okra and tomatoes probably, and peppers. So there's still plenty that will be coming, but we're going to try to get another stand of cucumbers, squash, and zucchini going. Okay, that's it, folks. Let's put this up and let's head out to the greenhouse. So as we head out to the greenhouse, I thought I would show you the Asian eggplants that I just showed you the seed packet from. Don't talk much about these. They were the last thing out of the greenhouse because the bugs just chew them up when you put them out. If you put them out a little later, they don't get as buggy, and they seem to be more bug resistant. But the thing about these plants is they are very prolific bearers, and they make these beautiful yellow flowers which hang down, and then a black long eggplant drops down from it. So anyway, I just thought I would show you those. Let's head on to the greenhouse. Okay, so we came over to the greenhouse. It was a little hot in there this afternoon, so I decided to do it out here on this work table. And so I've got all my larger pots, and the reason I'm using larger pots is I want to grow the plants as big as I can, and then when I need to put them out, I will. But that way I can keep them protected from all the bugs and stuff. I keep them in the greenhouse at night. If I need to move them in there, there's only going to be about 12, so I can move them back and forth if I need to. Also, I can inspect them very easy for bugs and keep the bugs off of them until I plant them. Get a fairly large plant and then get it out there, hit it with Miracle-Gro, and see what I can produce before the bugs get it. And that's what we have to do in Georgia to grow a second crop. You really have to fight the bugs. But anyway, right now I'm going to show you how I mix my potting mix right quick. So I've got a couple of shovels full of just regular garden soil. This is compost that I made in my own compost pile. You can see the difference in that. And then I've got over here a couple of bags. One of them is the Evergreen cow manure compost, and the other one is the Miracle-Gro, and it's a raised bed soil. And of course all this stuff is expensive, and you could just use the raised bed soil to plant with, and that would be fine. But like I say, I want to try to keep my costs down, so when I'm doing something like this, I want to use as much natural stuff as I can without having to use all the store-bought stuff. So anyway, let's put that in right quick, and then we'll get to planting. Half of that. This is a brand new bag, so pardon me if I grunt. And I believe that's going to be more than enough to fill all those pots there. All right, so we're gonna mix it up right quick. Got a few volunteer plants in there. Smells very earthy with all the compost and manure that's in there. Doesn't smell bad. And I believe that's got it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up one pot and I'll show you what I'm doing. And then I'll fill the rest of them up with the camera off. So I usually fill them up about 3/4. And the reason is, that way then when the plant comes up, gets a little leggy, I can put more dirt around it. And that way then that'll steady the larger plant that I'm planning on having in here for a little while. And so that's it. So we'll cut the camera off and I'll come back when this is ready to plant. Okay, so we're back with the 12 pots now that we're gonna plant our late summer extra crop in. And I went ahead just so I wouldn't drop them and threw the extra seeds for the cucumbers in the squash pack. You can't mess this up. So anyway, we're going to put the cucumbers in. I'm just going to put them in the last row, and I'm just barely burying them under the light soil there. I'm going to put three in each spot. We'll save in each pot we'll save the strongest ones. If I decide I need two, I might separate one, but anyway, we're going to plant 3. And that's got the cucumbers. Okay, now we're going to plant the summer squash. We'll plant that in the very first row here. I'm planting this really shallow because I want them to come up in a hurry, and I'm going to put more dirt in there to support them once they get up. I normally plant a little deeper than this. Alright, summer squash is planted. And then that was actually the crookneck. Now I'm going to plant the prolific summer squash. This is actually called the early squash. Three, 6, 9. That's what I need, is 9 seeds. And I'm going to go ahead and plant these other 2, but I won't make you watch that. So we're going to go ahead and cut the camera off. I'll get that planted and I'll cut it back on. I've got one more thing I want to do before we end this video. So now we've got them all planted, and we're going to come back and we're going to water them. When I've got the seeds in the middle, I start watering from the outside. That way it'll kick the dirt towards the inside. I'm actually using rainwater I collected from the storms we had yesterday. And I'll come back in a little bit and water the top a little more. And now you ask, well, what are you doing with this water? Well, this water we're going to put tomatoes in to root. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to sucker about 3 tomato plants, 3 of the better boys, and we'll take the suckers and drop them in here, and they'll usually root. And when they root, then you can just put them in the dirt and you got late season tomato plants. So let's go try that.